Thank you for attending the Week of Kindness. Coming up next is another powerful, impactful, amazing speaker. Get your notepad out, get your pen. Let's get ready and enjoy.
Three, two, one, go live. How many of you are terrified about the notion of going live, especially in a platform called LinkedIn, and creating video content? You are not alone. My name is Olivia Vo, savvy social strategist, and I'm here to help you get excited about this access that we have to this amazing digital technology to help elevate your business. My focus today is particularly on LinkedIn because I have seen this platform grow and emerge as a very business-friendly social media site. I've spent the last decade or so of my career in recruiting and staffing, having started out on LinkedIn, and I see how it has really helped video content creators to grow. They're really working hard to catch up to the Facebook Lives and stories that you see so prevalent today, as well as YouTube Shorts, the Instagram Reels, and TikTok. The difference I feel with LinkedIn is that it's the most trusted professional networking site and will enhance your brand and business, giving you that extra boost of credibility and help drive more meaningful conversations that will result in leads for you. I think Neil Patel says it best. He is a well-known digital marketing expert, and he shares that live is one of the biggest trends that we're seeing. And the more you go live, the better off that you are. So let's get started today. For today's topic, I'd like to start off with discussing the 3 myths and 3 truths that are most common to live streaming. And then I'd like to share with you on the benefits of going live on LinkedIn and also the third-party live streaming app that I prefer, and show you the step-by-step ways in which you can get started with LinkedIn video and the live streaming service. Finally, I'd like to end with a client success story so that way you may feel inspired to take action wherever it is that you are right here and right now. So in a moment, I'd like to share with you my screen. So here we go. All right. So this is the quote that you see here from Neil Patel. Excellent. So let's begin with the 3 myths, the 3 most common myths that people have around live streaming. How many of these are pertaining to you? Do you feel a need to be professional and perfect on camera? Do you feel like you need to have the latest and greatest in technology and a fully built out home studio before you can hit that button? Or is it that you need to have a fully written out script of everything you need to say in the exact moment when you broadcast? As I said before, you're not alone. These are some very common myths. So let's tackle each and every one. Here's the truth. Learn to embrace your unique qualities that make who you are and be authentic. We hear that word a lot, and it's because people want to be relatable to you, and they care more about what you have to say than how you look. We want to see you in a natural element, a natural environment, without the frills. And sometimes when you're too polished and too professional, it may seem as inauthentic. So learn to embrace your most positive attributes and embrace your personality. Let that shine through the camera. And next up, most laptops, computers, and smartphones have built-in capabilities. There's a built-in microphone and a built-in camera, and that's all you need to get started. Over time, as you invest more into this live streaming technology and want to take it further, you can then begin to look at having an external microphone, a webcam, perhaps a headset, or a soundproof booth. They're not necessary at this time when you're just beginning. And finally, while It is important to have some sort of an agenda to keep yourself and your guests on track with bullet points or talking points. However, it is most important when you're live to be spontaneous, be engaged in the moment, learn active listening so that way you can contribute to the conversation and start paying attention to some of the comments and questions that are coming through from the audience side. So know your topic, be comfortable with your topic, and be in the moment. And you'll get a lot of success from your own live stream. As far as my own live streaming journey, it was a major detour that I took from my professional life as a recruiter to dive into something that was more meaningful for me. I am a member of AATH, which stands for the Association for Applied Therapeutic Humor. I'm enrolled in a 3-year program called the Humor Academy, and I also practice playful laughter yoga exercises. So when I decided to go live on LinkedIn, I decided to teach others about the importance of humor in business and in the workplace. And I have found a way to become more visible with my heart-shaped glasses. And it makes me stand out when I go live. And one of the shows that I produce on my own is called Get Your Happy On. I invite guests to discuss topics around humor and happiness. And so I was very pleased when this compliment came through from one of my LinkedIn colleagues. And after watching one of those episodes of Get Your Happy On, she sent me a message to say, there is a sad lack of interesting and fun posts in boring stuffed shirt LinkedIn land. So I think the boring stuffed shirt LinkedIn land is what intimidates a lot of people. Yes, it is a professional network. You'll find a lot more decision makers, high-level executives, major influence on this site. And perhaps it's time to be yourself and be personable. And you can be the refreshing glass of water at the water cooler for many of the corporate types who might be on the LinkedIn site. And so this is what I mean by just being yourself. And as long as your information is fun, engaging, and interesting, you'll attract the right people. You'll attract those who want to follow you. And as a live stream producer and events promoter, I have found my way to become visible, and I'd love to work with entrepreneurs and help them with the same. Again, the LinkedIn algorithm really is looking for your authentic video content. In fact, they crave it. And so you'll receive higher visibility and engagement when you go live versus a standalone post that's a text post or a picture post. So how do we get started? So first off, I'd like to share with you some of the top benefits of going live on LinkedIn. First of all, not many people are doing it. So you have the added advantage of going live in a space where not many are venturing into. I believe of the 800 million members worldwide that are on LinkedIn, 1% is actively producing content, and especially creating video content. So you'll gain lots of visibility, exposure. Your networks gets notified every time that you go live. And when they comment, their networks gets notified too. So it's a way to reach out to second and third degree of connections that you might not otherwise have found on your own. And as mentioned before, you'll receive higher engagement. There's an interactive quality with going live. You'll be able to tap into people's real-time comments and feedback in that moment. And you'll be able to generate some very surprising leads. You never know where your live stream is going to impact your next big client or prospect. So it is a wonderful tool that LinkedIn provides with video capability. And with some simple tips, you can stay trending at the top of the newsfeed. So I definitely want to make a distinction here about LinkedIn Video and LinkedIn Live. So on your phone, if you download the LinkedIn phone app and you go to create a post, one of the options in creating a post will be to add a video. So that's when you can record yourself in real time on location and go live that way through video. And you have up to 10 minutes. However, keep in mind, most people average about 2 to 3 minutes. So this is when you want to have a journal or a list of handy signature pocket speeches that you can talk about. So my speaking mentor will say this: 2 minutes or more to an audience of 2 people or more counts as a speaking engagement activity. So for many of you who are expanding into the speaking business or want to land your next paid speaking engagement, going live via LinkedIn video is a great way to do that and helps you keep in that practice and momentum. So the pocket speeches really work in that moment. And you can choose to do that once a week or several days at a time and build up a habit streak, let's say. So that is LinkedIn video on the phone. However, if you choose to use Zoom and record yourself, okay, for 2 to 3 minutes on a particular message or topic, and then download that strictly to your computer folder and then upload to LinkedIn as a post, that is also a very viable option. So just remember that LinkedIn prefers native video content. So it means that when you are uploading it directly from your phone or uploading directly from your computer source, it will boost that much more so than you linking it to a YouTube video, let's say. And when it comes to pocket speeches, it would be a great idea to have those topics written out. And it has a very simple formula. You start off with an attention-grabbing question or bold statement. You give yourself a tagline and simple introduction. You teach one piece of content or share one particular message. Then you wrap it up with a bold call to conversation. Invite them to join you further in this discussion. So it's called a call to conversation. So I believe that is an area that many people are not taking advantage of on LinkedIn, and you can be that difference maker by practicing with LinkedIn video. So now what I'm going to share with you is LinkedIn Live. So there's a few steps that you'll need to take in order to activate LinkedIn Live for yourself. So here they are. When you log into your personal profile page on LinkedIn, scroll down a little bit past your header, past the analytics dashboard to the resources section. So for many of you, this may be the first time that you're hearing about resources, and you'll see there's a line item here that says creator mode. For you, it may be in gray and the word off. So all you've got to do is just click it, toggle it until it turns green and then on. And I recommend that you follow the prompts that they have after switching that creator mode on, because it's going to give you a very high level overview of what's available to you. These are embedded, free LinkedIn tools to help grow your business. It includes LinkedIn newsletter, audio events, and live streaming. Audio events and newsletter is a whole other discussion for another day. They say to get good with one tool at a time. So today's focus is on the live streaming component. So there you have it. That's how you turn on LinkedIn Live for yourself. I'd like to share with you that early on, this was in beta test mode, and you had to apply for LinkedIn Live. It was only available to a certain number of people with a certain number of follower count and activity on LinkedIn. And almost very recently, they rolled this out to everybody to have access to creator mode. You know how Facebook and Instagram has their influencers? Well, LinkedIn wants their own set of people called creators. So hence creator mode was started. And there's many opportunities also within the creator mode community on LinkedIn if you look further to apply for their grants and cohorts and lots of special programs too. So it's really, really exciting again to be on a platform like LinkedIn. So once you've got creator mode turned on, the next step is to determine which third-party live streaming app you will use. LinkedIn will have a list of its recommendations, but what I would like to share with you is Restream. Restream.io is powerful. The other popular choice is StreamYard. And the reason why I prefer Restream is because of its many attributes, such as live streaming simultaneously across many social media channels. So when you log onto Restream, you're able to stream to not only LinkedIn, but Facebook, your Facebook personal page, groups, and other business pages. There's also Twitter and YouTube and many other if you're available on these sites as well. So I think this is incredible. Again, we're talking about using video for exposure. And so it's one-time effort in the Restream studio, and you get simultaneous broadcasting to these channels. And what's even better is that when you have a guest on, they're allowed up to 3 social media channels of their own. As a guest, it's free for them, and they have up to 3. And so they can also choose their LinkedIn audience, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, etc. And so think about this. It is double the exposure, double the visibility, double the brand awareness, and double the audience engagement with one-time effort. It's a win-win for everyone involved. And to get started in a Restream is also free. So I invite you to check out my affiliate link. It's here on the screen for you. And from time to time, Restream will offer coupon codes. So please reach out to me if you are thinking about using Restream for yourself. And I'd like to share with you or find a way to get you a coupon code for a percentage off of your initial startup costs. Stay to the end because I will share with you my QR code that will have links to how you can contact me, as well as this affiliate code at the end of the presentation. So you can look this up on your own time, but this is the standard rates that are available on Restream. Again, it's free to get started, and keep in mind you get started with 2 channels. However, if you upgrade to the next level to standard, which is only $16 a month, you'll get up to 5 channels. And so that is the program that I'm in because I would like to stream to multiple channels. And then the next level up after that in the professional is very interesting because then if you're at that level, what Restream will do is create an audio split track. So you'll get the video file of your live stream broadcast and then the audio file only separate. So that way you can build up your podcast on Spotify, iTunes, etc. So that is a great feature to have at the professional level. If you're looking to further create multi-content and repurpose your content as well too. So let's talk about some success tips that you can follow to ensure your live stream is maximized. So the first one is all about the notice, advanced notice, and giving people enough time to expect when you're going live. And I would say about a week or week's half advance notice would be sufficient just to start reminding people when the live stream event will be on and to give some of your guests additional exposure by introducing them to your network. And I will share this. Combining that with a personal invitation will do wonders. When you're in the Restream studio, there is an opportunity for you to auto create an event post that will be available on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. And so in that event post, you're able to send out invitations to your network. You're able to drive commentary before the event happens. And that's important because, again, you want to be top of mind, top of the news feeds for most people. And if there is someone that you think that your guests and your network should connect, say so in the invitations, tag people, let them know, hey, I'm going to be interviewing so-and-so, and I think it would be great for you to listen to this episode and connect with them. I think you may benefit each other. So I have seen that personal invitation has been really successful because now you're getting people who are invested and want to watch and learn from the individual speaker or guest that you have on. Next, make it interactive. There are a variety of things that you can do during a live broadcast, such as a giveaway, Q&A, and also have fun things that they can do. Perhaps you have a free download of some sort, a free interactive link that they can download or a code word from some sort of new product launch, and be able to give that to them, to the audience, and say, if you're watching this, You can download or go to the site today and get some added benefits. So make it fun and make it interactive. There are also things you can do like upload a video clip. If there's a teaching point that you want to showcase via video, you can preload those into your studio and play at the right moment. You can also introduce some slides, some slideshows, if you like, into the live broadcast segment as well. So there's a lot of fun things you can do to engage with the audience and have them be attentive. And finally, follow up. Follow up is a huge key to your success. You want to follow up with your guest, of course, and ask for a testimonial, ask them for a recommendation. Who else do they know who would make a great guest, potential guest for this podcast or video segment? Also, be sure to follow up in the comments. So after the live event is over, schedule some time in which you can watch the replay. Watch the replay and engage with every single commenter and every single person that took the time to watch. And there may be some new names in there that you didn't know about because they just happened to stumble upon your podcast or your live video and made a comment. And then also, this will help boost the algorithm even further. Let's say, for example, you went live early in the day and then it just gets trickled down in the news feeds. So by watching the replay and commenting again, it suddenly boosts that to the top and your networks gets notified. So they may have missed it the first time around, but now they get to watch it. The other amazing attribute about Restream is that it does allow for replays. So for example, your live segment gets stored in the back channel for up to 14 days. And during that time period, you can also hit replay and have it broadcasted again, just like a TV rerun. Because we want to be able to catch people at different times, different days, etc., to make sure they watched it. So that is another benefit of being able to hit the replay button. And of course, you want to watch it on replay so that we can observe. Maybe there are things that you liked. There are things that you want to do differently for next time. And I want to make a point here about macro content and micro content. So for example, your live segment, this live broadcast could be anywhere from 20 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. And this is your macro content. Then you can learn to create micro content, which means repurposing this broadcast. And when you're watching the replay, listen for those sound bites or those clever phrases that your guest has shared or the audience has shared, and make a recap post. You can do a quotable card on Canva, showcasing the guest's picture and their quote, and maybe some nuggets of wisdom that you got, some takeaways that you got from the live broadcast. Perhaps you summarize it into the top 3 takeaways as an email newsletter to share with people and say, hey, this is what you missed. And again, with the simultaneous broadcasting capability of Restream, you can put this on your YouTube channel and create a whole playlist. So in your email newsletters or communications and posting, you can say, hey, if you have enjoyed this episode, follow here for more, or watch this playlist to get caught up with some previous episodes as well too. So there's so many things you can do to repurpose this content throughout the week, throughout the month. You can turn it into a blog post, etc. So these things take time. So be intentional with what you want to do with the content. Because there's a lot of information that's packed into a live segment, and you want to be able to parse the relevant information and share with other people to keep it going, to keep the views going as well. So that follow-up stage is very important. And be sure to allow people to connect. Oftentimes when I'm watching another person's live segment, the best networking happens in the comment section. In fact, many hosts encourage that, because if you're watching this show, chances are you've got similar interests, similar backgrounds, or there's something that you want to learn. And it's a great way to start off a personal connect message to say, hey, I saw you on so-and-so's podcast and I'm reaching out. And this is what I liked about it. What did you like about it, etc. So it really helps as an icebreaker to share information and just a great way to connect and network differently from other people. So to summarize, I wanted to share with you these recent polls that Restream conducted. They reached out to the live streaming community and asked them, what is the number one goal for you as a live streamer? And 36.2% responded with chatting with other cool people. I think that's fascinating. So when you go live, you've got this platform now to be able to interview or talk to people that you want to learn from. Who are the people in your personal spheres of influence that you admire, that you would love to pick their brain? Get them on the show. Or perhaps you have this burning desire for a field or particular topic and want to build up your knowledge. So you can research who are the top people in that field and invite them onto the show. Make it attractive for them. So when you begin to follow up with your guests and ask them the testimonials, you can then start building a outro video that you can play at the end of every live stream segment. And it will make you much more attractive because you've got some social proof that it's worthwhile to be on the live stream show with you. So chatting with cool people. Think about your dream list of people that you would love to have a one-on-one live stream interview with. To follow up with this poll question, they then asked the audience. So from the audience point of view, what would be a top reason for them to follow a particular live streamer or to follow a particular channel? And 53% responded personality. So when we think back to the 3 myths earlier about the need to be professional and perfect, about having the best equipment and having a perfectly scripted show, it comes down to personality. The more authentic you are, the more you show up as yourself and just go with the flow, because when we're live, we never know what's going to happen. And I think that's the beauty of it, that we can be in our natural element and have fun in this moment. And if there's technical glitches that happen, it's okay to pause and breathe through it and troubleshoot the best you can. But personality is one of the reasons that people follow you and your video content and messages. So whatever it is, that's your area of expertise, make it fun, make it exciting, make it interesting. And in closing, I'd like to share with you a client success story. So I'm a graduate of the USA Women's Entrepreneurship Cooperative, and it is a very intensive 5-month program online in which we learn business foundation principles, and we got to network across the US with 150 other women entrepreneurs. So in this particular cohort, I got to meet a colleague, Caitlin Johnson. She is the founder, owner of Bold Bird Consulting Incorporated. She's a master certified performance coach and gamification expert. So here we are in New York at our General Assembly, and it was the first time we got to meet in real life after months of online collaboration. And during the time that we were together in the cohort, she came to me with a challenge, with wanting to expand her group coaching. She had a 6 weeks coaching program that she needed help to enroll some new participants. And it was a pretty high ticket offer for those 6 weeks. And I asked her if she had ever considered live streaming, and she had not. So we came together and brainstormed a plan in which I could help her with creating a 5-day game on level up your career challenge. And so I primarily worked in the back end while she did everything in the front end. She was the host and facilitator, brought in her own guest, and it was fantastic. And so when we think about the success tips I mentioned earlier, Caitlin did everything brilliantly. So for example, as far as personal invitation goes, she gave herself about a month, maybe half a month, to really start building awareness that this was happening. This live event was happening. Prior to meeting me, she had been on LinkedIn pretty actively, but not intentional with how she was promoting herself and her business. So she actually created a several series of posts in which she could talk about gamification. And she did a very clever thing about taking the alphabet A to Z and creating a topic or a theme with each letter related to gamification. She also created a worksheet that people could go to this link and download for free by way of collecting emails and building her email list. And then each day she would say, hey, save the date for the live stream segment that's about to happen. So again, having about a week's notice, advance notice is perfect. But in her case, she really wanted to build up her name. And so she did a month's worth. Finally, it was very interactive. Each of our guests had something to share. She was able to interview them, and they had giveaways. They had a book giveaway, and they had the coaching complimentary sessions from each of her guests as well. And we were giving out awards to people who asked the best question. So if people were in the comments asking the best question or had the best attendance, we would choose them for this giveaway. And again, I was in the back end, so I was largely managing the captions, changing the slides, pulling up speakers and reading comments and being really active as a community manager, monitoring the comments. And so that was a lot of fun to make it interactive. And again, if people did not download that worksheet, she had it available. And it was something that they could print out and follow along, because each day of the live stream, she would give some information that they could use to fill in the rest of that worksheet. We decided to do a 5-day challenge. It was Monday through Friday at a very specific time. It was 11 a.m. Eastern for about 30 minutes a day. And so people knew what to expect, and the attendance was amazing. On average, she had about 20 to 30 attendees each day at that time slot. And what was important is that, the attendance was steady. Many people came back and they were present. So often when you do an event, attendance tapers off at the end of the week or so. But in this case, they were very much active. And they start to invite their colleagues and their friends to join in as well. And then finally, as far as a follow-up, she had decided to offer laser coaching to anyone who had questions. It was 15 minutes laser coaching, and also to answer any Q&A questions they had about the coaching program. We also decided the very last day on Friday as a bonus to offer BOGO. So BOGO is buy one, get one. And so we invited people, if they had downloaded the worksheet and had filled it out and could take a screenshot or take a picture to post it on LinkedIn or to send it to us as a DM, we would allow them to bring a friend or a colleague to join them in the coaching program. And they on the back end could figure out, the payment plan and how they would split it. But it was very successful because people would show us that they at least completed the challenge and did the work as far as they could. And then we made them the offer that they could bring someone. Because when you're coaching or joining a coaching program, it's always nice to have someone else to join you, have a buddy system. So I love this story because many of you may still feel a little bit trepidation about going live, or maybe perhaps you're not ready yet to have a dedicated show or a live stream segment of your own where you're inviting guests. So why not consider live streaming for your next challenge, or for the next product launch, or a book launch, or coaching program? If you are looking for help with some enrollment and recruitment for new participants, why not consider live? So often I see people who are announcing a coaching program. They'll have some link to sign up. You get to watch a webinar. They immediately send you over to a private Facebook group in which they showcase all their live videos for over 3 days or 5 days, what have you. And so I think when you only broadcast live in the Facebook group, you may be missing out. And so with Restream's capability, you can go live and now broadcast it on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. You never know when your next lead is coming through. As in the case of one of my mentors, Russ Johns, he says that be so visible, they can't ignore you. And so that's why I would encourage you to look into live streaming. So if you're not ready to have something dedicated of your own, I would highly encourage you to partner with myself, collaborate with myself or someone else, so that way you can ease your way into learning this technology. Caitlin did everything by herself in the beginning, And she took her time to learn the restreaming platform with some of my tips and tutorials. And then I handled everything in the back end. It was a wonderful online social collaboration. So we talked today about getting started. This is one of the ways in which you can get started. You can even host a panel, so to speak, if you want to gather some thought leadership together and create a panel discussion, a roundtable. That is also possible within the live streaming platform. So I hope today has given you some new ideas. Perhaps this is the first time you're hearing about LinkedIn, and perhaps the first time you're thinking about live streaming. So this is the QR code that I promised you earlier. So it is my link tree, and the QR code should work if you just hold up your phone camera and scan it, or the link is below that you can type it out into your web browser. But let's find a way to collaborate this year. Make this the year that you go live streaming. And the affiliate code for Restream is available on this Linktree site, as well as a way to connect with me. Thank you so much. This is Olivia Vo, Savvy Social Strategist, signing off. Thank you.
Wow, I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. Thank you so much for all of that great information. Hey, we're not done yet, so just relax. We're going to continue on with our next speaker in just a few moments.